is West Michigan's Morning News. Steve Kelly, Brett Makita, Schmitty's back soon. Remote work is here to stay. We will talk about the red flags to indicate a toxic hybrid workplace. CEO of ActiveOps North America on the live line with us this morning, Spencer O'Leary. Welcome back to Wood Radio.
Hi, Steve. Good morning.
So it's different, right? The world we're moving forward, and that's cool. But there are still some bad operators out there. What sort of things should we keep our eye open for when things just aren't right in our hybrid workplace?
So I think three key things for me, Steve, that really needs to enable the manager of today managing the hybrid workplace be successful and make sure that their staff are performing well. So first of all, data. People need to make sure they've got data about who does what when. We lost our ears and our eyes as management tools through COVID, and certainly in the hybrid workplace, we have to manage through other means. Secondly, is making sure I've got the balance right. People's performance and people's well-being is important. We need to make sure we manage both. And third is make sure people have got systems in place to make sure that they can actively manage production, actively manage people, their performance and their well-being. And without those systems in place, managers of tomorrow are going to be lost.
Wow. You really struck a chord with data. And we have kind of two different factions. I think it's a bad word working here. We have the line of cooks that make the product, and then we have the line of front room staff that sell the products. And kind of figuring out what each of us is doing is harder when we're not running to each other in the hall every day.
And hard is the key. So managing people and their production and their performance and whatever job it is you've asked them to do, that was hard in 2019. It's never been easy. But it got harder in 2020 when we had to do it from home. But at least when we were doing it from home and we were managing people who were doing it from home, 100% of my workforce and perhaps me as a manager, we were all at home. Now suddenly we've gone into this hybrid world. 9 out of 10 organizations believe they should operate in that hybrid way. And I've got people sometimes at home, sometimes in the office, making the job of management probably the hardest it's ever been.
When you look at following up with like company email or following up with people just like you and Steve were talking about there, how do you see that changing? Is it better? Do we sometimes with people that are in the office, like Steve said, it's important to run into them, but also they can be a distraction, right? Talking at your cubicle, telling you stories. I mean, so how often do you recommend to people right now as they change this model to check in with email or check in with work as they're going through their day? Because I think you can be more productive at home without those distractions.
I think you're right. You can be more productive at home without those distractions. But one of the reasons that people are moving to a hybrid model rather than a work-from-home model is other things deteriorate when production increases as you work at home. So things like employee well-being, there's a real cost to business of sickness and attrition. And we know through data that when people work wholly at home and don't bump into people at the water fountain or the coffee machine, that their well-being can deteriorate. Also things like creativity, innovation, ideas generation. We're all human beings, and we tend to do those sort of things when we collaborate together, when we get together, we enjoy the active congregation. So organizations now adopted a hybrid model is all about increasing production, allowing people to work from home, maybe 2-3 days a week, but bringing people back together to the office to meet, to collaborate, to generate ideas and drive innovation. If we can get that balance right, we really see the best of this new hybrid world.
And add free food during those times when they're all in the office, and I'm fully on board. CEO of ActiveOps North America, Spencer O'Leary. Always great stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.